This one, my story is filled with adventure and curiosity and the right amount of author-induced chaos, just like Alice in Wonderland. So, let me take you inside the story. But before I explain my love to BWB, Hi everyone, welcome to BWB. Today, I am not talking about classic bestseller or sharing episodes from our lives. Instead, I'm bringing you some fresh perspectives from our group, BWB, to show you what makes us spark, how our energies flow, and how our very different personality aligns so beautifully. And that brings me to two questions I'm excited to answer today. Why do I love being part of BWB? And how does my personality align with the others in this wonderfully unique group? So, why do I, as an author, love being part of BWB? People ask me this all the time. And every time I try to answer, I feel like I'm opening my storybook life again, opening it out to others to see into it. Except this one, my story is filled with adventure and curiosity and the right amount of author induced chaos, just like Alice in Wonderland. So, let me take you inside the story. But before I explain my love to BWB, I want to make you listen to this tiny snippet from Alice in Wonderland podcast episode, a moment that feels so perfect. I sometimes wonder if Lewis Carroll wrote this secretly just for us.
We will now love to know from you the insight of the book Alice in Wonderland, and please say what is there for us.
Sure. So, welcome to BWB. I'm super excited to share with you all one more classic tale which is much loved by children and the adults alike all over the world. As we turn the pages of the story, we step into a world where reality and the whimsical merge and the ordinary transforms into extraordinary. This beloved tale invites us to follow Alice, little child Alice, who is curious and brave, and who is the icon of adventurous spirit as she tumbles down the rabbit hole into a world where the logic twists and imagination rules. And this beautiful masterpiece by Lewis Carroll is not just pure entertainment, it is also a reminder for us to know the resilience of youth, the magic of change, the beauty of imagination, and the danger of not being very boring and stagnant and dull. And it is giving us this timeless truth that the magic and imagination lies just beyond the ordinary and the familiar, only if you are seeking for that with courage. So, as we step into this beautiful world where the rabbits talk and the cats grin and mad tea parties happen, let us also remember to celebrate the joy of imagination in this beautiful classic tale, Alice in Wonderland. So let me share with you what happened with little child Alice. One midsummer's afternoon, she was feeling very bored, sitting next to her elder sister, who was reading a book which had no pictures. She was just yawning and going off to sleep when she suddenly saw a rabbit scurrying past, wearing a waistcoat and looking at the time and muttering to himself, "Oh, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late." She got up, consumed with curiosity, and followed him. And the rabbit disappeared into the rabbit hole. She followed after him. So she was falling down, down, down into the dark hole, and she could see on either side there were, walls with had cupboards and cubby holes and shelves and filled with lot of goodies and stuff. She grabbed it one bottle, but it was empty, so she kept it back. She found herself in a long hallway and it had neither side but all were closed. So she remembered there was one tiny golden, key which was on a glass table. So she went and got it and she opened a tiny door with which the key fitted. and it was where she could see through the doorway into a beautiful garden. But she cannot fit in there, poor thing. So she was thinking, oh, I wish I could just telescope, lengthwise so that I could fit in through there. Now she was thinking maybe there is one more key there, and she goes to see if there is. But she finds a drink, written, drink me. And she drinks that, and she's shrinking, and she becomes tiny. And she now thinks, now what is going to happen? But thinking of getting the key, it is not possible because she has forgotten and it is on the table again. Now she doesn't know what to do, how to get to it. And as she looks around, she finds a slice of cake on the top with the raisin. It was written, eat me. And she's a very brave and curious girl. She eats that cake and she starts to telescope, like she's just growing taller, and she's now 9 feet tall. She jokes to her feet, I cannot see you anymore. And then she sits down thinking, what can I do now? How will I fit in through the door? How will I escape from here? Don't you think she is very brave and very curious and very flexible and adaptable? I really appreciate her. So every time I hear that clip, the author in me sits up straight because that is the kind of storytelling that makes my writer soul dance. Alice's curiosity, her courage to follow the unfamiliar, her willingness to leap before she has all the answers, her refusal to stay still when a world of wonder calls out to her. Isn't it an amazing kind of a story to write? So, as a writer, I have loved that feeling, that sudden spark, the whisper of a story, the dramatic urge to drop everything and follow an idea into the abyss, even if it leads you to a plot twist or an emotional damage or even, maybe 10 to 17 drafts. Yes. So that moment in Alice in Wonderland is not just a literary highlight. It is the mirror held up to BWB, a mirror that shows exactly who we are as five authors. Here is where it gets a lot of fun. So Alice asks wild questions just like Siddharth Sen does, setting us off in new directions, sparking fresh ideas and innovative techniques. Yes, Alice challenges reality just like Jasveer does. Never willing to let a challenge pass untouched, always confronting traditional mindsets and pushing the boundaries of interpretation. And Alice walks into the unknown just like Sritapa, forever stepping into unknown territories, embracing unfamiliar topics, and daring to explore unspoken truths, pushing us to create new and unique, episodes. And Alice embraces surprises just like Sujata, believing wholeheartedly that surprises awaken our dormant creativity, revealing insights none of us planned for in the beginning. And for me, as personally, as someone who builds worlds with words, this clip reminds me why I love collaborating with the four other storytellers. Storytellers who constantly surprise me, challenge me, prevent me from becoming a hermit with a keyboard. Yes. Authorship in BW isn't solitary. It is shared, it is multiplied and sprinkled with just enough madness to keep it exciting. So that Alice moment is as all five of us. And here is the magical part. Each of us notice different symbols, metaphors, and emotional truths in each of the things that we work on. For example, one of us sees the Mad Hatter's chaos as a creative genius. Another sees it as an unconventional problem solving. Someone else sees it as a slow evolving wisdom. And I see the Cheshire Cat as the playful trickster who reminds us of creative identity crisis. So this is what makes BWB extraordinary. Not one interpretation, but five parallel interpretations. So one may be having a strength of, bringing in, simplifying it, or one may be reimagining it in a wilder way, or one may be structuring it in a different, insightful manner, or one may be analyzing it in a very deeper way, or one will be bringing intuition and emotional strength into it. And me, I love it because my author identity merges beautifully with theirs. sometimes leading like a fearless protagonist, sometimes hiding like a side character, but always growing in that vibrant, in that exhilarating creative alchemy you can only find in BWB. And that is, we create such fun episodes for you all to enjoy and get takeaways from. So, what keeps our, our episodes warm and exciting and alive? It is our childlike wonder, just like Alice. So, as an author, that is our creative fuel. It is the caffeine of our imagination, and it is the reason we write stories, make podcasts, we do these episodes instead of sending emails to each others. All right. In BWB, we channel the same raw creativity. So we would be thinking, brainstorming, we would say, what if this idea has a secret meaning? What if we flip the concept upside down? What if we challenge the obvious? What if we reimagine it entirely and confuse everyone in the comments? And that is the energy that keeps me inspired, that pushes me as a writer to think differently, explore deeply, and create boldly. And here is the truth, because BW is not just a group, it is a creative sanctuary for me as an author. So it keeps me curious, it keeps me evolving, it keeps me bold, and it keeps me honest. It gives me authenticity in my writing. And on some days, it keeps me sane. So it is rare for authors to find a tribe that challenges them, supports them, and expands their creativity while laughing through the literary identity crisis. So here it is. Every session with BW feels like I am writing a new chapter, not alone, but as a part of a five-author epic with plot twists, laughter, sarcasm, and the occasional rabbit hole emergency
Three
meeting.
of us, myself, a friend of mine, and his wife, and we took off on the helicopter over the Royal Gorge. It was amazing.
Thank you, Siddharth, for that beautiful, life story. And your father has taught something so meaningful that we have to learn even from the failures, and how important it is to focus on every aspect of life. So I have I have my huge to-do list. I'll slice it and still have sufficient time for what I like to do. But he says that it's not possible. He says that we are obsessed with squeezing every last drop out of our hours. And the faster we go, the more anxious we look. We think we are conquering time, but actually, time's just standing there with its arms crossed, saying, really? You're trying that again? Berkman says, stop chasing efficiency for efficiency's
Thank you, Sujata. Yes, I recall a time that was there in my life when I decided to slow down. I had a great career, support at home. And the thing was that there was no one to speak and converse with her in English. And that was creating a lot of stress for the child because at school,
Unforgettable. So Santiago struggles to keep up his confidence and strength. He relies on his memories of past conquests to keep up his spirit. He remembers playing the game of strength of hand with the black man, and the contest had gone on for one day till the next morning. He remembers the black man was, fed rum to keep up his strength, and he would have defeated Santiago. But Santiago had hung on with determination. In the morning, knowing that people who were cheering on in the sidelines have to go back to work, he had summoned up all his strength and bent the hand of the black man flat onto the table. He had defeated the towering black man with his right hand. It was his fisherman's hand of catching the fish. He was called Santiago the champion. He was not old then, but middle aged, and he had great strength in his right hand. Now also he feels he has strength in his right hand, but his left hand is a traitor and may betray him any time. So he eats raw tuna to keep up his strength, and he keeps scolding his left hand again and again. So Santiago knows that he can beat the great Marlin, as it is already a day and a night since he has been dragging the boat and he has nothing to eat so far. Even as Santiago prepares for the win, he knows that the battle will not end with it. So I believe Santiago teaches us that great victories come with great effort, and the more meaningful the goal, the greater the investment of energy and perseverance. So I hope you like the episodes we bring and this unique concept of, sharing our love for BWB with you all. Hope it infuses, energy within you, that laughter within you, and makes you see us as we are. And keep subscribing, keep watching our podcast, and have a wonderful day and keep smiling. And until we meet again, bye bye.